All right, guys, welcome back to the Performance Matters podcast. Today I'm your host, Coach Myles, and we have a very special guest with us. I'm going to go way back with our good friend Johnny Curran. Been a longtime client, longtime friend. We both grew up together. I actually started helping him with the strength training, what feels like 30 years ago. It's probably 15 years ago anyway, back in high school when I didn't really know what I was doing, but we were kind of figuring it out together, and it's pretty cool to see how far we've come now, right? So,
absolutely. Yeah.
Going to be a lot of great stories today. He's played junior hockey, obviously, all the way up through Division I in the States and now playing professionally overseas. And obviously along the way, like any athlete, he's faced some major highs, some challenges, and we're going to get through all that stuff today, and I think there'll be a lot of great takeaways for hockey players and just athletes of all levels. So before we get started, same way we start every show, we got to shout out our main sponsor, Pete Method Photography. Pete Method Photography, Niagara's premier sports photography business and company. Any level of sports, any sport, he's your guy. So if you want to hit him up, Pete Method Photography at gmail.com on the email, or just petemethodphotography.com to learn more about what he does. Okay, so Johnny, why don't you just go ahead and give us a little bit of the background origin story, just kind of your hockey life, how it kind of got started.
Yeah, I think as probably most kids in Canada, it's a big part of the culture. If it's hockey or if it's soccer or football, whatever it is your parents are into. My dad was a big hockey fan, and he actually came from England and moved to Canada in '67 when the Leafs won the Cup. And
Already something I didn't know.
Yeah,
But your dad didn't, okay.
Yeah, so my dad didn't even know what hockey was for the first 10 years of his life, and then, or I guess eight years of his life, and then came to Canada, just fell in love with it. So both my sisters play it, and they got into it right away, and then the same thing with me. So I think everyone likes to say the classic skating when you're three. You probably weren't skating when you're three, but definitely had the skates on in the basement and the walking around on the carpet. And I know my sisters had me in a Leaf jersey and a helmet walking around, kind of dressing up the little brother. So just as long as I've known, it's been hockey.
That was me and Mike and I had that same comment. Like, if you're not skating by 2, you're too late.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, I'm skating at 3. It's like, maybe. But I think it's later on. It's probably 6 or 7 when you start getting it going.
That's when you really realize maybe this is my true love, my first true love, right?
Yeah, at least you're good at it, right? Like the first few stages, everyone's just kind of falling around and rolling around on the ice. It's not a pretty sport to get your kid into right away. It's really boring.
But primarily that's what you played, right? So right from AAA, and then right up into, well, you were kind of playing junior B, I think, younger than most guys, right?
Well, I got a couple games in grade 10 when you're allowed to play like 5 games. So Terry has a flavor. He likes the young guys and he likes the local guys, and he's always done that. He's taking care of guys, and
help develop the young guys. And stuff,
yeah, exactly. So he spent his money on the imports, and he wanted a good team, but it always had a local flavor. So I was lucky enough to be a part of that, and some names we'll recognize as we tell the story, I guess. I got to play with Tori in high school and junior B and stuff, so we can bring that up. But minor hockey in Niagara Falls. Put the bag away in the summer and played soccer until, I want to say, probably grade 6 or 7, and then eventually the hockey took over.
How do you think soccer helped you in hockey? Because I think today the biggest problem is early specialization, and these jokes I'm making about people skating when they're 2, but people got their kids on these elite like, oh, my kid's on the elite U5 team. And it's like, how do you think soccer maybe actually helped you?
Oh, I think it's great because you put the bag away and you miss hockey. You want it. Like, I literally say put the bag away. Like, up in the shelf, I could see it in the garage, and it did not get touched. So I loved playing soccer too, had a passion for that, obviously with my dad being English. Loved watching England in the World Cup and Euros growing up. And then it's just a different group of friends that you get to play with, you know what I mean, kind of a different group to hang out with. So definitely great for hockey though. And soccer, there's no gliding, it's competing and sprinting and cardio, and you learn to possess the ball and keep the ball. In hockey, it's very like up and down like basketball. So you learn different kind of IQ for sports, which is great.
That is great. Yeah, and I think it's a good point you make too. We always talk about the physical compliments of playing all different sports, but sometimes you need to miss your sport.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like well, I'm sure we'll get into it, but kids are just grinding these days, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to like your sport. So I don't want to assume things, but I know if parents and kids are too hard too early, like I would imagine a lot of kids are quitting before they even realize like how fun it can be.
Yeah, and where that game could have took me, or
exactly, right? Like if you're burning out by the time you're in grade 9 and 10, and you want to go to the movies because you've been movies with your buddies in high school instead of going to practice because you've been practicing for 12 years already, like really, really hard, then yeah, you're missing out on some of the most fun you should have.
Yeah, definitely a balance where you have to learn how to make sacrifices.
100%.
But you also have to learn how to, like, being a kid will help you actually make more of those sacrifices because you feel like you can actually scratch that itch of having a social life, and you know.
Oh, 100%. And when I say being a kid, it's not like hanging out by the train tracks. I mean, like it's playing like. I had 2 or 3 summers of I didn't play baseball in a league, but the neighborhood kids we were obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So we had a baseball summer, we had this, and then there was always time for road hockey and stuff. But yeah, by the time August came around for hockey, I was dying to play again.
Yeah, which is so valuable for sure. And it's funny too. We say, like, obviously when you're growing up, it's a pivotal time to learn all the skills and everything.
100%, yeah.
But even when we talk to like the Riverlines guys, the basketball guys, like sometimes the best thing they can do between seasons, because they pretty much play all year.
Yeah.
Is to not be in the gym and not be dribbling. And I always joke, like, you didn't forget how to dribble? They're like, no, of course not.
No,
I mean, they are pros, but there's something to be said about taking a little break from your sport and still being active, but maybe doing some cross-training, right?
100%. And then there's signs. Like, we put the bag away, but there's still a hockey net in the driveway, a piece of plastic to shoot off. Yeah. And I was shooting pucks in the summers just because it's just fun.
Totally.
But it's not forced fun, or it's not forced activity. So that's a big sign, too, is when you don't have to do it and then you end up doing it anyways, then, yeah, you definitely enjoy it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So when did hockey start to feel more like actually it could be a potential career path than just a game?
I was gonna say this is probably the magic number. It was definitely before high school, where like you take that AAA pride a little bit more seriously, and you're going to Halton and Grey Bruce on like weekdays. You're going you know what I mean? Playing,
I remember that.
like,
not me playing, but I remember guys like Sean Farguson talking about like, oh, you had a game in Grey Bruce last night. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's something teachers probably have a hard time too with. It's like I was in Oakville last night. I got home at midnight and like what? Like what are you talking? You should be in bed resting or you should be doing homework. It's like no, I actually had a game. So I think when the hockey starts becoming a lot more competitive. And the summer hockey really got me going. We used to make like an all-star team for the Niagara region, and then we would go and play in tournaments in Toronto. And you'd be playing against like teams that would usually kick your butt in the winter with like just Niagara Falls or just St. Catharines. Now we had a Niagara region team, and we were beating big teams. So that kind of got you that competitive, like you know what I'm trying to say, like
because the thing is like. Population-wise, like that probably is more fair because Toronto has millions of people.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you take all of Niagara, maybe that's closer to that number too. You know,
like Oakville had 200 kids try out for their team.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls is like we cut like I don't want anyone to hear this if they got cut, but
we
had like probably 25, 30 kids get cut. So, or try out. Some years you tried out, you made it.
Yeah.
So it was like, and then you're going to compete with these Toronto teams. So I guess where I'm saying is when we finally got to go and compete in these big tournaments and you're skating with like what are supposed to be the best kids your age.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I belong here.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, that you start.
That's when the eyes start to open, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I guess knowing still today, but knowing like, okay, grade 10's coming. That's my OHL draft year for those who.
Yeah.
That's their goal, right? Like. Yeah. So you kind of do have to realize pretty early with hockey.
Yeah.
You know, this is something I want to chase or pursue.
And you always have it's funny who your role models are. Like the 93s was like Torrey, Matt McLeod, Foy, Dio, Nick Pissarro. They were in our group, in our friend group, our brothers' buddies. So we saw them get drafted and then see them make junior hockey.
Right.
And now you're watching like these guys play in major, junior, and junior B. And you're like, oh, like this is in grade 9 or 8. You're like, oh, that's where I want to be, right?
Right.
So then you start to kind of see your path kind of unfold in front of you. So when we were saying I got to play some junior B in grade 10 for Terry, that was great because I got to play with some guys that I used to like idolize, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, you feel like these guys are like celebrities, right?
Yeah, like
at the time.
Like preseason, Dustin Scott gave me his jersey because the one jersey was like massive on me, and I was like 120 pounds. And the year before, Dustin Scott I think scored like 55 goals for the Canucks, and now I'm like playing on his line. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally.
So as a kid, it's a good experience. So
yeah, of course,
definitely. I still look back at it and like playing Canucks at a young age. I loved it. It was a great memory for me.
So after you made that transition to the Canucks, then when did you start to realize, or when did you start to gain any interest from some of these Division I schools? Like when did you realize that was going to be the path?
It took a bit.
Did you have any OHL like interest? Because back then you had to pick.
Yeah. So I say I might backtrack a little bit here.
Yeah.
I think a huge thing to mention is St. Mike's hockey.
Yeah.
That's when you start playing against like grade 9 to 12, right? So in grade 9, I was on the varsity team and playing against older guys, and like Notre Dame had a bunch of guys who were going to go play junior B. Dennis Morris had like 12 guys that ended up playing junior hockey the next year. So it was a really high level of hockey.
Yeah, wow.
So that's
and you guys had really good coaching at St. Mike's too.
Defran, right? He's got the most points in NCAA for St. Lawrence. He's a record holder there, and I'm sure he would tell you. No, I'm just bugging you, but he probably would have been in the NHL if these rule changes kind of went like smaller.
Right.
He played like hockey where it was like the monsters were in the NHL, and he was just a wee guy, right?
Born in the wrong era.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Really. Yeah. Thanks for helping me on that one. But so St. Mike's hockey was a huge step for me, and then as we got into junior B, then you start to kind of carve your path out and kind of see where it's going. But I'd say my second year of junior B, towards the back half, I started to like add and like help the team out a lot more. When you're younger, you kind of just chip in here. Sometimes
just happy to be there.
Just happy to be there.
In a sense, right?
Sorry, that's where I was going. Junior B changed since we've been playing. Like we used to have like 17, 20-year-olds on each team. So like every year the Canucks had like 16, 17 new players because Terry just loaded up on 20-year-olds.
Right.
So at 16, when you're playing against St. Catharines and there's like 30, 20-year-olds between both teams, it's a big man's game. So
right.
I think Terry had to make sure I didn't get killed out there too.
That's like a jungle.
It is, yeah, exactly. And they're all cut from the OHL. They're overagers that got cut from the O because you could only have 3 at the time.
Right.
So really high level of hockey. But yeah, I'd say the second year junior B playoffs, I think I scored maybe five goals in 7 games in the playoffs. So I was like, okay, next year is going to be a good year for me. And then that's where I went to Ice Dogs camp and started to get some D1 interest.
Yeah, but so again, at that point you would have had to pick. I guess you went to the Ice Dogs camp, but it was like, do I stick around or do I pursue the school thing?
Yeah.
And what went into that decision?
So funny enough, Defran was coaching AAA, which Marty Williamson was the coach of the Ice Dogs, and his son was on Defran's team, who actually, now that I'm thinking of it, Mike Craig would have been on that team.
Oh my God.
And so they were practicing after St. Mike's the one day, and I went and practiced with St. Mike's in my junior B year just because I just wanted to be on the ice. And Marty asked Defran who that was, so that's how I got to Ice Dogs camp.
Right.
So I had a good first year at Ice Dogs camp, made the black and white game it is, and then the second year I ended up leading the camp in scoring.
Right.
And then that's where the big decision was: are you going to play preseason with us or protect your eligibility?
Yeah.
So I hung out with the Ice Dogs for I think maybe 2 weeks, and eventually they're like, okay, if you're not going to play preseason and kind of show us what you got, then it's time to go back. So
that was you kind of deciding? You're like, I don't know.
It was probably the hardest decision of my life because I really wasn't too interested in NCAA at the time. I just wanted to play in the OHL so bad, but something rubbed me the wrong way. I guess it's just gambling away a big decision that my whole life everyone's told me you're going to go play in the NCAA.
Right.
And then here I am I want to play in the OHL, but it just doesn't seem right. So, yeah.
So maybe you're born in the wrong era too. Because now you can do both, right?
Yeah, exactly. This rules changes. It's great for the kids.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it totally is good. And I was talking to Mike too. It's going to be interesting to see over the next couple of years how it shakes out, like how it affects every league. Some leagues will probably get better, some will get worse.
Yeah,
or maybe not.
And then I'm just learning more about it as I skate at Niagara U. I pop in to talk to the coaches, and now you can play a year of pro and go back and play in the NCAA. So guys can play a full year in the AHL, and if it doesn't work out for them, or they think that maybe it's the end of the road professionally, then they can go back to school for a year. So these NCAA coaches need to pretty much know everyone in North America.
The recruiting pool is bigger.
It's crazy.
Which I guess is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got...
They got a lot of work to do. They got to find a niche of recruiting and where they're going to get their guys from. That's
interesting. Like CFL, so you can get drafted out of school. You can go to training camp. You can be on the practice roster.
Yeah.
Once you play a real game, then your eligibility's gone.
Yeah.
So guys sometimes will get drafted after the 4th year or whatever.
Yeah.
Go be with the team all summer.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of working a summer job, you get the coolest summer job ever. You got a practice, professional practice roster.
Oh, exactly.
But then still go back to school.
Yeah.
Because you haven't played a real game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. You can play a full year in the AHL and you can go back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know if we'll talk about that rule change too much, but I'd say if we got some young guys in the gym, just stick with it because a lot of guys got discouraged with this rule change. There's still the same amount of hockey players.
Yeah.
So you know what? If maybe your scholarship got taken away from NCAA, there's still a Canadian university and stuff. So just stick with it. I'd say. Just wanted to get that out there because we talk about it pretty much every day in the gym, right? About what.
And at this point, it's all just speculation.
Yeah.
Right when it happened, it hasn't been enough time yet to figure out the effects and the downstream effects and stuff, right?
Exactly, and I tell you all the time, like if it was Niagara, you or Brock, I'm right where I should be.
Yeah.
So like, don't get discouraged if you don't get to go play in the States. Just keep playing if you love it.
So you made that decision. Okay, I'm not going to do the OHL route. I'm going to chase the D1 path.
Yeah.
So then, what did that even look like?
So that also sprung from the Ice Dogs camp. The Aurora Tigers coach was helping out at the time.
Right, OJ team?
OJ team, yeah, OJ Junior A team. So he called me up after the Canucks were eliminated from my third year with the Bees, and that's where I was, I think, top 15, top 10 in scoring in the league.
Grade 12, I guess, right?
That would have been the year after grade 12.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so 1 year at a university, or 1 year at a high school where you should be in your university, and this is where you kind of start rolling the dice with your life. Should I be at school here? Should I be this or that? So a lot
of hockey guys will take a year or two gap year,
right?
And
I did a full year course at Brock, so it got me like 2 credits to transfer in. So you can still stay busy.
Yeah.
But so I had a good year in junior B. I'd say that's where you kind of start to dominate, and like you're like, okay, yeah, exactly, and you should. And I was on a good team, so that helped a lot. And then got called up to Aurora. We went to the finals. I chipped in a lot and helped out the Aurora team. We ended up getting knocked out in Game 6 of the finals, but when you're playing in the finals of the Junior A championships, there's a lot of schools around, and then that's where I ended up committing to Western Michigan originally.
Right.
And we said we were going to get into that a bit.
Yeah, well, I would like to, because the biggest message I want to get across on this podcast 100 times over.
Yeah.
Is that like there's no success without struggle.
Yeah, 100%.
Like nobody we're gonna bring on this podcast just had an easy path. I just played here and then I just committed and then I just scored every game and I just got paid a bunch of money and like it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it happens to a few guys and they're millionaires and their books aren't that fun to read.
That's what I mean. Yeah, all the power to them, but there's no lessons there for the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about the what was supposed to be with the Western Michigan. What happened there?
Yeah, so I got recruited by a coach that was a big fan of me. He was saying all the right stuff and. Talking about maybe two years in NCAA and get you to pro and really exciting me. And I've told you like my career outside of hockey, my dream career was being a pilot.
I was going to say even academically it was a different setup there.
They had a commercial aviation program. So like when I committed, I'll be honest with you, I think I had a little cry in the shower because I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a certified pilot. I'm gonna
play college hockey. Are you kidding me?
Against Notre Dame North Dakota every couple weekends. I'm like, this is like I did it.
Yeah, I'm a freaking rock star, dude.
And then exactly. So unfortunately that coach left. New coaches come in and you kind of got to reprove yourself to a new coach. And unfortunately I didn't do that. I guess I got stagnant. I got kind of bored of junior hockey. And he didn't like what he was seeing and said, you can come, but you're probably not going to play ever. I'm going to make life hard on you. And that's a reality. That thing happens, and those things happen, and people don't tell you that.
Yeah.
So
that's what I always tell kids, too. You can't commit somewhere for a coach.
No.
Like, it's a factor. It's a very important factor.
Yeah.
But, like, so many, even in my own, like, I guess, journey, like, there's so many times where I saw coaches moving different schools every year, every 2 years, like, so, yeah, you have to you can't hate your coach.
Yeah.
But, like, that can't be the reason.
No.
Because next thing you know, you get there and he or she is gone anyway. It's like, well, now I'm left picking up the pieces where I might have been happier at another school for all the other reasons.
Yeah.
But this coach, right?
Oh, exactly. And, like, it's a lesson to learn. You never know who's watching.
Right.
I played my 20-year-old year in the Ottawa League in the CCHL.
Yeah, which is, like, what's that like equivalent to?
Junior A. Like, I think people say it's better than the OJ. It's this or that. Like,
who cares, right? It's Junior A.
It doesn't matter.
And this was right after the Western Michigan thing fell through?
No, I was still playing for Western Michigan, or I still committed. I went to Western Michigan for the summer to work out and stuff, and my appendix blew and all of that kind of stuff. So it was a crazy summer in Michigan, but I had a blast. Good taste of NCAA. But went to Ottawa, and I was probably on pace to I think break like 100 points in juniors, which I thought was going to be pretty fun.
Yeah,
and then talk about like every game matters. I think I like. Didn't have a point like once in 20 games, and that was the game Western came to watch, and I didn't have a great game, and they just did not like what they saw. And it was like, where were you you
can't have a bad night.
Where were you the other 19?
Yeah. But, check the EP, man.
Yeah. So it doesn't take much. So I got decommitted in November. They just said you're not going to come, and it's going to be hard here, and blah blah blah. So kind of went on I guess you could say the free agency, and then Niagara said you could come at Christmas, and then that was like a breath of fresh air. It was like, okay, I'm going to go to NCAA still. It's fine. It's local.
Yeah.
Great for the family to come see. So then, I ended up going to Niagara midway through my 20-year-old year of juniors.
So were they recruiting you beforehand and you just picked Western Michigan instead, or like were they new on the radar now? Like how?
Yeah, I think there's a little regret. Berkey, the old coach, when I committed to Western Michigan, ran into my dad and like I don't want to say apologize, but it was like that's on me. Like he's right across the river, and we didn't even go watch because it's junior B, and then you find out a Niagara guy committed to Western Michigan. Kevin Lavoie was a Niagara guy committed to Robert Morris. Andrew Sturts was Buffalo, committed to Penn State. So it's like a lot of local kids.
You don't want to lose guys out of your backyard.
No, especially when you want a crowd and this and that. So lessons learned definitely from that coaching era.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But hey, they came through.
So that all worked out in the end. So you got to tell the people because you can't leave them on a cliffhanger. What'd you end up studying?
I ended up studying teaching, yeah. So I have a business education degree. Can be a teacher down the line, which is great. It probably ends up being way better than a pilot.
Could fly a plane, probably shouldn't though.
Exactly. Exactly. So we mentioned him already. D-Fran's been a big role model in my life, and
of course,
to kind of potentially follow in his footsteps and hopefully be a high school teacher and help kids through some tough times, some weird times, and maybe coach a hockey team or something.
It's only getting weirder. Like it's so hard to be a high school kid now.
Exactly.
Crazy
so
world.
I think it's all going to work out for me. It's going to be just fine.
Absolutely. So what was the transition like from playing junior hockey to that D1 level?
I'd say that was harder. Juniors to college was harder than college to pro.
I heard that a million times too.
Yeah,
I'm not happy you're saying that because we've heard that multiple sports, multiple different athletes, doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're just grown men. So like you play 16 to 20 and then you jump into college and there's like 25-year-olds on other teams depending if they redshirt or this or that, and big boys like all over 200, 210. Like there's some big guys. And I say that because I played junior B started at 135, went to 150 and then eventually hit like 180 in university. So when you're going to the corners with guys that are 20, 30 pounds heavier than you every shift, it's a big difference.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then obviously having to add, I'm sure in juniors you watch film, but like that much more probably in college, like the film aspect, and like actually having to go to class now too, like.
Yeah, and they're just good too. Like junior hockey's good, but it's not great. And then you go to NCAA and it's like the best of the best from juniors, and you're like, this guy sucks at NCAA, and then you go and elite prospect him, and he had a way better junior career than you're like, oh my god, like it just
that's
shows
why he got recruited.
Yeah, it just shows you how deep that hockey is. It's like he scored 4 goals his sophomore year. He scored 40 in juniors. So like, okay.
So you can look at a guy and be like, how the hell did you get recruited?
Yeah, and then you
go on the EP and you go, oh, that's how.
Oh, that's how. Yeah, and it just shows you how good the hockey is. And I'm saying this person I just made up is bad. I'm just saying that just shows you how good the hockey is.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So. It would have been really easy when the Western Michigan thing happened to just kind of fold and feel like what was me and feel bad for yourself. Like what kind of pulled you out of it or like kind of kept you moving in the right direction?
I just love to play, so I was like, I do not want to stop playing, and it's kind of a fear. Looking back now, it's like I probably could have played out my 20-year-old year and tried out for Brock or this or that, and found a Canadian university, but it was the fear of not playing. I'm like, Niagara wants me to go at Christmas. This is like a year more of hockey, or 2 or 4 years. You know what I mean? Whatever it is you sign for. You sign your letter of intent. I think it was for 4 years. So it was like, okay, I got 4 more years on a hockey team to keep playing and then keep getting better.
Right.
So that's definitely what drove me, was to keep playing.
Right, because I think now all too often like people hit a speed bump and it's just like so easy to just spiral.
It's really difficult for junior hockey players. I know everyone, their families tease. They sit at home waiting for practice and this and that. But it's hard to see your buddies go to university and live on dorms and have fun.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like, I'm falling behind academically, like socially, blah blah blah, just to play some junior hockey.
And I know I'm good enough. That's the thing. When you have that feeling,
100%.
You see who's there and who's doing what, and you're like, I'm better than that guy. I can play with that guy.
Exactly. So you really gotta like just see it through, and you're not gonna regret. You're not gonna regret playing junior hockey, because as we've seen people grow up, it takes them 6 years to get school done, or they do their degree and then they don't even use it. So it's like everyone's kind of worried about the agenda and the clock when you're a kid, but like just kind of take a deep breath. You're gonna be fine. And like junior hockey, it's not a bad road to take. Just you're gonna be okay.
Right. So when you first turned pro, actually, again, let me back up. Like, at what point in the Niagara journey did you realize, okay, now pro's an option?
Yeah, so
how did you even make that jump, or how did you even realize, or how did you?
Well, that's sort of funny enough, me making fun of the guy I just made up in my head about stats. Like, I didn't have a great college career, like statistically. I did okay. Our team wasn't great. So a lot of guys were kind of getting like filtered out just because they're like, I have no chance. But I knew that I had a good enough career where it's like I had games where I was the best player on the ice, or I was good enough and I was consistently in the lineup. End up being like an assistant captain. You're like, okay, like I'm one of the better players on this team your senior year. And then you're like, I'm physically still fit. Like guys went through college getting a concussion every year. Guy had back surgery, guy had knees, hips, everything. So like I got out of college without an injury, so that was a big thing too. It's like I am fit. I graduated, so that was huge to get like that taken care of. So I was like, why wouldn't I roll the dice a year of pro and just see how it goes? And then
a year of pro.
Well, yeah, 7 years later, still going at it.
So did you have to go seeking an agent, or like what the process? Because again, like you said, there's a lot of young guys here that's going to be looking for that nugget. Like, did you have to go find an agent, or is there agents around like looking to sign guys? Like, how does that work?
So I didn't have a great college career, so I really didn't want to go and play in North America and go up and down from the East Coast to SP, because I figured that's what's going to happen. Like I thought I good enough to play in the East Coast, but does each coach know that? Does this, that? Like, there's a big agenda. So it's like
doesn't matter what you think.
And I will say, Niagara was a grind. It was some tough years. So I didn't think I had the stamina to play for 10 teams my first year. So went to look in Europe, had my dad's passport from England. I thought I would count as a British player. So I tried to throw my name in the ring there. Coventry Blaze ended up taking me. So I thought I could count as a British player. They ended up taking me as an import because my passport doesn't really matter in that league. So that was kind of nice to know that they took you as an import. Didn't make a lot of money, but at least they took you, and that was a good opportunity. So I played. That was the year COVID shut down that season. So I think,
of course, right? Another stupid bump in the road.
Yeah, naturally. But I think I played like 50 or 60 pro games that year, so I got a good chunk of hockey in the first year, and had some great showings there. So I knew I can play at this level too.
Right. So then, how did COVID like affect your season over there?
Well, looking back at it, kind of learning about the league and stuff, it's really unfortunate because winning the regular season, they do it like soccer or football there. That's the big trophy, and we were a smaller team technically, budget-wise, and we were second or third with like 5 or 7 games left in the league, and we were on an absolute tear. So if that COVID didn't shut us down, might have won the league, which would have been a great thing for the fans, for the league, blah blah blah.
You guys are on the path,
and winning a pro trophy would have been great.
Doesn't hurt on the resume, right?
But it did definitely make you think. The next year, all the leagues were shut down. Then the Coast tried to put a league together, so they had like 12 teams. The SP had 5 teams. The AHL had a few in California. Like it was tough to play hockey, and this was another one. Like, am I gonna wait out COVID to play pro again?
Because nobody knew how long that was even going to take.
Yeah. So
and you're like, is this a sign? Am I not supposed to do it?
100%. It just makes you think like, oh my God, I'm falling behind on blah blah blah. So you gotta wrap your mind around it. So I was getting the CERB just like everyone else. So I stopped getting CERB and went and played in Knoxville, Tennessee for like $200 American a week because I just wanted to play hockey.
And what league was that?
That was the SP.
Yeah.
So I started.
Tennessee's got to be pretty cool.
Oh, it's unreal. That's where the University of Tennessee is. All the Manning stuff. But I played one game in the East Coast, started in Wichita.
Right.
Got a nice assist. Thought I was like, oh, great. I'm going to play in the Coast. This is going to be a blast. Coach the next day said, Toronto Marlies don't have anywhere to send their guys, so they're coming here.
Yeah.
So like, okay.
And he didn't have to say anything else.
Yeah, he's like, do you want to play here next year? Like after getting cut, he's like, would you like to play here next year? I was like, no. Yeah. Like that's a terrible timing question. And no, I'm going back to England.
Yeah.
So, had a great time in the SP, played 20, 30 games there. And then the next year, England opened up, and it was a normal year.
Been there ever since.
Yeah.
So what are some of the biggest, I guess, like lessons you might have learned from your D1 career that still help you today as a pro? Whether it's like your preparation or whatever.
I'd say a big thing I battled with, and still to this day probably, it's getting better, but just consistency. And it's not consistency effort, but just like the production on the ice, and not offensively, but like just being the coach knows what you're getting from me every single day. In juniors, college, I had some great games, and then some days I had some, like, was Johnny playing today?
Right.
It got better as it went on in pro because you're playing a lot more hockey games, you're in a rhythm and stuff.
Right.
But I'd say one of the challenges was just staying consistent. So that's something to focus on. And it's a place like here, you guys are big on that, right? If it's a a spoonful of dirt or a shovelful. Like, just show up and get a little bit better every day. And I think that's a great message you guys give the kids.
Yeah, it's so easy to be like so often kids are like, I just don't have it today. Like, oh my God, I'm running on empty. I'm running on 50%, and we're like, okay, then give me 100% of 50%.
Yeah.
And there's a moment of, well, that's only 50. Yeah, but it's better than 0.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, the longer you train, the longer you play, you're gonna have more of those shitty 50%, 30%, 60% days.
Yeah, 100%.
And they kind of really make you appreciate the good days that much more, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they make you earn those good days too, I would say.
Yeah, and you got to remember the good days because it gets you through the grind. Like,
totally.
Right now, this is a different summer for me that I should be playing hockey and I'm not. So I'm remembering, like, okay, I love playing games. I love doing this. I love doing that because I do enjoy the gym, but now it's getting to be a bit long. So I'm like, okay, like, keep putting in the work here because it's going to pay off and you're going to get back into a game and you're going to love what you're doing again. Yeah,
there's a light at the end of this tunnel, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely. So now that you just brought it up, let's kind of talk about this unfortunately unforeseen circumstance. So you had a pretty healthy career, like you said.
Yeah.
Healthier than most guys. No crazy.
100%. Yeah.
No crazy concussions or broken this, broken that.
Knock on wood.
And then obviously the wolf came to the door.
Yeah.
And talk about what happened there, and then kind of the reaction and.
Yeah. Kind of a weird one last year. Just ACL rupture, complete tear. Just a weird, awkward hit in the third period. Still can't really figure it out. I think maybe my foot was planted and a guy missed a hit kind of to pin me from behind, but he must have had my foot.
Yeah.
I just tried to twist out of it and pop, there it goes.
I'm sure you've watched the video of it probably 100 times.
I've tried to figure it out. I still can't really see it.
Right.
But it is what it is. Like, I'm 30 years old and that was my first injury, or 29 at the time. And like, I lucked out. It took 3 weeks for the team to figure out I had no ACL because no bruising, no swelling.
All the telltale signs, yeah.
Like, all the telltale. I knew something was wrong, but the team was pushing me to, like, get back on the ice and play and stuff. Yeah. And I was on a new team at the time, and I'm like, you guys don't know how I operate, but, like, I don't miss practices. I don't miss games. Like, this is very unlike
If I'm missing something, it's legit. But they don't know that. Yeah.
They don't know that. So I had to practice. My leg gave out, like, full speed at the goal line, and I crashed into the boards.
Yeah.
Got off the ice because I'm like,
that's not me.
That's not me, and that could have been way worse. Luckily, I landed fine. So the doc was like, okay, let's get you a scan. Went to Edinburgh in the morning, got a scan, warmed up for the game that afternoon or that night, and then luckily the scan came in before the game, and he's like, you don't have an ACL, so we can't let you play. And I was like,
you were ready to play. You were suited up, and
I was telling the guys, like, I'll give you what I got, like
10 minutes,
15 minutes. Like, usually I want to play 25. Like,
of course,
I'm not coming off, but I was like, I'll just try to take some face-offs just for that, and then just like eat some minutes for the guys.
Yeah. And
that's very unlike me to just say I'm going to eat minutes.
Yeah.
When I can.
Yeah.
So I knew something was wrong. So when they told me, I guess it was a little more validating than upset, because I knew something was wrong. But then it hits you, like, oh, this is going to be.
Oh shit, something's wrong.
Yeah, this is going to suck. This is going to be a long process, and it has been, but you guys have come a long way.
The latest, we're so close, man.
We're right there.
We're so close.
Yeah. Friends and family have helped, so it's a crazy process, but we're almost through it.
Yeah, it takes a village to even be able to play any type of sport. Never mind at the college or pro level.
Yeah.
And seeing it now, it takes a village to be able to rehab such a catastrophic injury like that, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And like, just being at home, like, I got to give some credit to my girlfriend. It's been 11 months of me talking about my knee every day, and now it's only getting worse. Of like, can I play this week? Can I play next week? And it's blah, blah, blah. So it's got to be exhausting hearing about a knee for 11 months.
Right.
But she's gone through it. And then my roommate did his PCL halfway through the year, so she had to hear about 2 knees.
Right.
So she's.
I hope she never hears about a knee again for the rest of her life.
Never again. And then, like I said, you guys have been huge on it. And then my buddy is a physio, my cousin's a physio. They've helped me out a ton. So it's like you said, it took a village, but we're almost there.
Yeah, we're close.
Mm-hmm.
We're close. Yeah, let's talk a bit about the actual training aspect.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the start, and then we'll get kind of to now.
Yeah.
So when did you really realize, like, okay, like, I'm gonna need to, like, I'm obviously good at hockey. I'm playing, junior B back in the day, like, but I need to get in the weight room. Like, when did that kind of hit you?
Well, I'm happy you brought it up when we were doing the introduction. It was you, and that would have been, I think, after grade 12. When I was going to Ice Dogs camp, I'm like, I need to pack on some pounds here.
Dude, we had so much fun, eh?
Oh,
me, you, Connor Day, like,
so good, man. And like at that, what's Niagara College?
Dude, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We're pushing sleds, running up that hill, pushing your dad's truck all over the place.
Going nuts. And like, I just felt like Rocky. Like, I didn't have a car at the time. Like, my parents gave me a car whenever I had a chance.
Of course, yeah.
But like, I was running to the YMCA, doing squats, doing everything you wrote for me. You wrote my first program. and then running home. And it was just like, you're just like in great shape. And that first year, I think we packed on like 20 pounds. And
I've been a strength coach before I even knew what a strength coach was.
100%, yeah. It was a big success. Like 20 pounds. I remember coming back from Ice Dogs camp, and we would like do 2 laps after a drill. And like my buddies in junior B were like hooking me and trying to trip me and stuff because I was just
guys are cooked.
Just
you're
flying.
Fine,
yeah. So so what's that? 18ish.
Yeah.
Would have been like the first one.
And that's when you kind of probably really get the bug.
Yeah.
Because you see.
Well, you see it.
You see the results.
Yeah, you see it.
That's what did it for me.
And you feel it.
Yeah. I enjoy it while I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But football's my first love.
Yeah.
Ask Kayla, she'll tell you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
God bless her.
God bless her.
Yeah. But going back on the field after every offseason, there would always be a feeling of, like you feel like unstoppable. You feel like a whole new man, literally, right? You feel like even making the transition from, say, grade 10 to grade 11, now you're playing senior football, and you're like, I'm one of the best ones out here. It doesn't matter how old I am.
Yeah.
Making the jump to university was way harder.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's really hard. You got
at least in high school,
absolute monsters waiting for you to come in.
Yeah. But at least in that high school, like you could always be that measurable progress. The harder I work, the better I get. The harder I work, the better I get. Right.
Exactly. And I think like maybe that year, I know I started junior B at 135, but maybe by that time naturally I got up to 150. So maybe you got me up to like 170 or 165. But either way, it was a huge jump.
Right.
And then to perform like I did that year was because of the training, and you could see it. I just flying. So when you see the proofs in the pudding there, it just encourages you more to get back in the gym in the summer.
Well, there is an aspect of, I sometimes talked to you about like Clance Layler. He's like PK Subban's strength coach.
Yeah.
And he was talking about getting off the hamster wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's almost like I feel like the summer you got off the hamster wheel, where like every other probably hockey guy is just doing camps every summer.
Yeah.
And not that it's not valuable, but guys are doing camps, guys are doing like combines or evaluation events. It's like, you want exposure, but like the exposure you're getting is just showing all these coaches how mediocre you maybe are. Not you, but just 100%. Athletes out there, because you're not really training hard enough. So you just keep showing them the same mediocre athlete over and over, month after month after month, right? Because you've never taken the time to train and actually improve your engine.
Yeah.
And you have the skill, but everybody has a skill at a certain point.
Yeah.
So like, how are you going to set yourself apart?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And to your point, like I think maybe that's where maybe boy to man. Like I was playing minor hockey and junior B like a boy, built like a boy, and like your dad's driving you to power skating lessons and skill lessons, and now it's like the man's like.
Which is valuable. I'm not saying it's not valuable.
No, it's valuable, and you need it, but you need to be a man, and you got to get to the gym, and you got to get under the bar, and it sucks. Some guys just absolutely hate it, and they still do it, which is even more the power to them for doing something they hate. But it's a lot easier when you like it in the gym. I can tell you, if I didn't like being in the gym, I would not be playing pro year 7, because it's like it's a long time, right?
Yeah, you just want to be able to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to that point too. That's a hell of a point, but. Probably the proudest thing of me, like that summer, was then when you went to Aurora. Like I was kind of catching up with you, and you're like, wow, we still do it here. We have a good group of guys that goes to this not just a gym, but like a training facility together, like a training facility like this. And
the first year, I would have been 19. It was like maybe 2 or 3 days of just going to practice, and the coach took me aside and said, "You haven't been to the gym yet." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know we had a gym."
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, we pay for you guys to go. And you and the boys that aren't in school should be going there." So we carpooled. Michael Laidley, Eric Williams, Sam Cronta, we would go there, Breakfast Club. Michael Laidley was the captain of St. Lawrence. Eric Williams was the captain of Northeastern, won a couple hockeys, bean pots. Then I ended up going to D1, and Sammy was good enough to play D1, but he was there in the mix, and he ended up playing D3, and I think maybe for Brock for a bit. So it was like the men were at the gym, putting in the time, and then you would go to practice. So, and then in Aurora, you built a ton of muscle there too.
Yeah.
And that happened to be the gym where Steven Stamkos kind of got built. So it was pretty
probably
cool
not a bad place to be.
Pretty cool to see his jersey and picture on the wall. I'm like, okay, we're in the right spot.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And so, how do you think maybe those habits you built in high school kind of transferred to that training experience?
Well, yeah, it's just your mindset going in that you know it's going to pay off, because there's a ton of guys and juniors that just don't want to do it. And parents don't want to do it, and they don't see the value in it. So I think you opened my eyes up to the value in it, and now this is where I don't think I was doing it yet. He showed me cleans and different things, and now you start to get more explosive. And the guys mentioned, Michael Laidley was an absolute machine, like a monster. He's from northern Ontario, and he's our captain. And just watching him work out and watching him skate, like I was fast, he was explosive, he was powerful.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I gotta up it to his level. Yeah. So I want to skate like Michael Laidley. Like that guy could fly. Yeah.
So that kind of speaks to two things. First of all, how far away was that gym from where you're living?
Like
it was pretty far, was it not?
We were in Aurora, like it was in Stouffville. So yeah, we were probably driving like 20, 30 minutes to get to the gym at like 4 times a week.
Yeah, 30 there, 30 home.
Yeah.
So kids out there, you got that's a note you got to take. Like, sorry, you're gonna have to drive somewhere if you want quality. Because sometimes you get that complaint, and it's like, for us, we have people that come here all the way from Fort Erie, all the way from Dunnville, Grimsby, and everywhere in between, right? So shout out to them for making the commitment and making the time. Yeah. But oftentimes, some people are like, oh, I'm at the other end of St. Catharines. That's pretty far. And I'm like, again, every successful person like yourself, like you're driving 30 minutes to and from. Some of these people that we have are driving 50 minutes one way, right? It's like...
Yeah. Well, like, some guys in juniors wait for that big year to kind of validate, like, now I should start working out. Like, I was a point per game or I scored 40 goals. I should probably start working out now. Well, why wait?
Yeah.
Get ahead of it. Be built like a man. And then if you do have that big year and a school comes to meet you, shakes your hand, they don't see like this little like soaking wet 140-pound kid. They see like, okay, this guy's not going to score 40 goals for me in NCAA. That doesn't happen.
Right.
But he's going to hit. He's going to check. He's going to compete.
Right.
Because like most NCAA games are 2-1, 1-0, 3-2s. Like they're hard games to play in. Yeah,
you got to scratch and claw for every goal, eh?
Yeah. So like get ahead of it early and like get under the bar.
Right.
And drive, drive to the
carpool, find a way. You know what I mean? Like nobody feels bad for you. I guess that's my point. Sorry to say, but nobody feels bad for you that it's far away because you get what you pay for, you get what you travel for, you get what you
100%
are willing to invest in. Right? Investing is not just money. It's time. It's distance. It's whatever.
Yeah.
And right. Resources.
You see like the big time like Ronaldo, LeBron James, these guys that are timeless. The money they spent on chefs, and I know this is a bit of exaggeration, but like their percentage of like their money they're spending on their bodies and their training and everything to stay timeless.
Right.
So at 16, like if it's not here, like get to a gym, but like you got to get the quality in because you're not going to just kind of coast through like juniors into college. It's not going to happen.
And kids will spend their money on a lot of stupider stuff too.
I can name a million things. Yeah.
You got kids who have like a full sleeve tattoo and Jordans on their feet and they got the PlayStation, but they're like training's so expensive. I'm like, well, no, you just don't have priorities.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. Yeah. You like football, baseball, soccer, whatever you're playing is just not your priority. Like, just say that.
Well, like
but that makes them uncomfortable. No, it is. I'm like, well, it's not because your actions don't match your words.
Your buddies text you to play pickup hockey, $20.
Yeah.
I'm getting in the car and I'm screaming down Thorold Stone because I want to play with my buddies. Like I'm saying like not now, but like 19. Let's go to Mansion. Oh, there's $200 gone.
Yeah.
Like gone.
Guys, when you think about
one too many drinks in you, and you're there's $200 gone. So it's like that's half your month training. So it's like the money's there. It's just
that's how you choose to spend it.
Exactly.
Right.
And if the money isn't there, that happens a lot with a lot
of
people.
And that's why we have different options for online training or trying to help people out or periodically we have our athlete training grants that thankfully we have these very generous donors that will help out maybe some kids in need. But there's I guess the point I'm trying to make is like if you want to make it happen, there's probably a way you can make it happen.
100%, yeah.
Right? Absolutely.
I know it's kind of ignorant to say, like, the money's there.
Yeah,
I know not all parents have the money.
Everybody has their own, but everybody has their own situation.
Yeah,
but
you can have my dad on the podcast, and you can ask him how much a full ride cost him, because it's a lot of money. We didn't pay tuition, but, oh, man, all the power skating, all this, that.
Yeah,
it adds up.
The investment, right?
Yeah, it's probably cheaper to go to Brock as a student than getting a scholarship in the States.
Yeah.
So
it's funny, because you hear the full ride thing, but
then you go and play.
Once you get there,
go play Air Force twice a year, and your parents come to watch the games and stuff. And oh well, there goes that money. But it's just it's a way of life.
Right, and I mean, there's to that last point too. There's kids who, whether or not their parents have it is irrelevant because there's kids who will get a part-time job and without ever even asking their parents for a single cent, they'll just pay their way to come.
Yeah, and
because
which is great.
Which is like incredible because they see the value and they have the.
You can get it done at the YMCA.
Or totally.
That, and there's people there that are going to help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If someone asked you to write them a program, I got to work out with Y. You're going to do it. Like, of course, you want to help someone.
Right.
So, like, there's ways around it for sure.
So now, how did the training maybe kind of change, or maybe stay the same once you got to that D1 level?
We were built like an arena football team that first 2 years. We were crazy strong. We were just freaks.
Right.
And we were squatting a ton, and we were doing 1 rep maxes and everything. So I think I broke like 185, 190 for the first time in my life.
Big body weight.
Yeah. But it was like thick, strong.
A little stiff.
We were monsters.
Yeah.
That was with Burkholder as the coach, and he was old fashioned. He liked that, and you could see in our style we were hard to play against. And come playoff time, we ended up bouncing RIT, who won the league back-to-back years, because we were just hard-nosed guys to play against, and our seniors did not want to go down without a fight.
Right.
And so we ended up beating RIT the first round, and we had no business beating them. And then I think lost to Canisius in like game 3. So the workouts did end up paying off.
Yeah.
The new coach that's there now, Jason Lammers, he's more of I'd say he's more with it when it comes to working out. So things got maybe a little more calculated, lighter. Like Thursdays we did like jump, throw, abs, just to kind of get you ready for the games.
Yeah. Game day workouts we would call them.
Exactly. But like Thursday maybe with Berkey we're like under the bar doing 1 rep maxes, which probably...
You know I love it though.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's really, you love it, yeah.
I wouldn't prescribe it.
Yeah.
But part of me loves it.
Like some of my fondest memories though are with the guys like getting bag skated and like being on the ice for like 2 hours, and then you're in the gym for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then we'd go to the
have breakfast together.
You go swipe in at the cafeteria and you just sit there for hours and hours just putting plates down, because your body just needs it. But
can you think of like a better day though?
No.
Is that just it's not just a bad...
Just unfortunately they threw school at you too.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
But school aside, it's kind of like the freaking Indy Bernard. You wish you knew were in the good old days when you were in them.
100%. Like I'm very nostalgic. Love looking back at the past. Love looking at like old times. But I would kill to do a week again with my
that's so crazy.
My classmates, and we just had such good times.
Sometimes you think about training camp even, and you're like,
just grinding.
I would fall apart and I would not last, but like you miss it, don't it?
Just
like
grinding.
Weird, like every year, like training camp comes back, and I'm asking all the college football guys, like, "Oh, how's it going? Like, tell me about it." Yeah. And they're like, "This is the biggest grind ever," and I'm like, "Man, like, enjoy it."
Yeah, and then I some guys are different. Like we enjoyed our beer on Saturday night. So like when you had that first crack of the beer on Saturday, you're like, we earned it. Like
yeah.
And like
straight up.
You know what I mean? Like there's no guilt on this one.
Totally.
Because on Monday you're sweating it out again. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you first turned pro, like, did anything ever surprise you with the lifestyle, or like was there any like crazy adjustment that way?
Yeah, like just going to England, it was a different culture, right? So the nice thing is that there's like 14 or 15 imports for that league. So it was tons of Canadians and Americans. David Brohl, who's from Toronto, played for the Leafs, blah, blah, blah. He messaged me before we went there just to kind of say like, hey, we're going to the same team, blah, blah, blah. So kind of got to text him and know him a bit before we went.
Nice.
Ended up being like my best bud, spent a ton of time together. But as far as the lifestyle went, England was pretty similar to Canada in some areas and then completely different in others.
Right.
So that was an adjustment. But like the pro life was great though. Get to the rink at like 8, I think we had to be there. So you're waking up at 7. We were like, the coaches did great. Like we had some type of breakfast at the rink, even if it's like toast, peanut butter jam, have a coffee, hang out. Like guys love being at the rink.
Yeah.
So it was breakfast at the rink, couch club, sit on the couch, have a coffee, blah, 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 and then you warm up, practice, go hit the gym. Your day's done by 1.
Right.
Then you go to the grocery store. What are we going to cook tonight?
Right.
Rinse and repeat. It's a pretty good lifestyle.
Stay in school, kids, because that's what you go to aspire to. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a path, and this is what it looks like.
Well, I did mention there's a degree in the back pocket, so I got put in the time to graduate first and stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because look what it can lead to, right?
Yeah, 100%. A lot of fun.
And so, how does playing overseas compare to playing here?
I'd say a little bit of a style. Typically, Europe's not as hard hitting and physical, bigger ice.
Right.
Having said that, England has the most imports that are typically North American. So the UK league is very physical. There's fighting, brawls, and all that, which is great. But it's still the big ice, so I'd say there's probably less contact. East Coast is very physical, AHL very physical. Everyone's kind of trying to pursue their dreams.
Right.
So, like, if I'm a right winger playing in Wichita and a guy's scoring a bunch, unfortunately, you're probably like, come on. Because, like, that could be me. Now you get to Europe. Guys have like bonuses to win games and win trophies, and we're all on the same team. We're all going in the same direction.
We're all pulling the rope,
Exactly. So I enjoyed that a lot. And then most people, I'm sure we'll get into it a bit. We talked about it. Just money. There's just more money in Europe, so that's a lot more sustainable for a career, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Than North America is.
Right. Because at the end of the day, how do I say this? Like, it's one thing to be able to say, okay, I played here, I played there, and I want to pat myself on the back to a certain level, but like, you need to make the money you can make while you can make it.
Well, and it's like we talk about the mindset of like not going to university and not going to this. Now it's like, okay, like I love playing hockey, but I I have no money.
Yeah.
That's why guys quit.
Yeah.
So I've been fortunate enough to make a wage where you can just comfortable, you could travel.
Right.
Pretty much, do everything you want to do without thinking like I have no money in my bank account. And you're not playing till you're 60, so like there's a normal job coming, but in the meantime,
it's delayed as long as we can.
Exactly, and in the meantime, I'm doing just fine.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, and it's always cool to see you guys like yourself or Kugler or whoever like posting like all these different places you get to see.
Yeah.
And play tourists maybe like after the season's over. Or something.
Exactly. It's great experience, and like it's everyone. The trip to Europe's pretty expensive for most people. Toronto to wherever is going to be a couple thousand. Luckily, the team pays for you to fly over there, so at the end of the year, you're already in England, so $50 flight gets you to Italy and
it's
all
amazing,
that. So you bounce around, and then if you are a good planner, like Kylie is my girlfriend, she's finding the Airbnbs and this and that, and you're in Europe for a couple weeks for somewhat
a reasonable price, or less than it would be.
Yeah, less than it would be if I planned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask who's the toughest guy you ever played against at the pro level, but I'm gonna imagine it was probably in the international tournament. I guess if I had to.
The toughest?
Yeah. Not even just, I guess, toughest or most skilled or best, I guess.
Yeah,
better. Toughest, not even mean like a fighter, but just best.
Like when we played Canada, that was really cool to kind of play your home country, and then like Bedard was out there, and I can't name drop all the guys, but it ended up being 20 NHLers, and we lost 4-2.
You guys held your own.
Oh my God! It took one shift to realize like, oh, we're in a hockey game here. Like, they're better than us. Like, there's no doubt about it. But it's like
we're all human.
We're here. We can work, and end up being on the ice for a highlight goal that one of our D-men scored. So it's cool just to be a part of those experiences.
Yeah.
And then like you got to play like Switzerland, Czech, Finland, like Roman Josi was on Switzerland. I had a one-on-one against him, and I'm like mid one-on-one thinking like, something's wrong here. Why,
like pitch me, am I in a dream?
Exactly. Yeah. And
so
looking back at it now, it's like I'd like another shot at that tournament to not be a tourist,
right?
And just really compete and take it in,
right?
But it's hard not to when some of your favorite players are on the other bench and stuff. So really cool experience.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
That is unreal. So as far as the training aspect, like the strength and conditioning aspect, now you've kind of had all different styles.
Yeah.
Even working with me, I like to think my style kind of evolves every year.
Yeah, 100%.
So the more I've learned, the more you've learned, you've had all these experiences, like, what's something you wish you would have been doing the whole time? Or, like, do you ever look back and think, okay, like, knowing what I know now, obviously still training is keeping you in the game, which is great, but is there anything you wish you would have done differently as far as the training aspect?
I think just probably getting into it earlier. Like, why was I putting on 20 pounds when I was 18? Like, why wasn't I working? Like, St. Mike's had a great gym in grade 9. Yeah. Why wasn't I staying after school and, like, bench press, squat, blah, blah, blah. It's like probably the lack of education and knowing what you're doing. And it's kind of a weird phase where you're a little scrawny in grade 9 and the big football guys are 12Bs are in the gym and stuff. So maybe that can keep you away. But it's like, why did it take so long to start working out? Like, you should have been doing that right away. And then who knows, you're a couple pounds heavier every year and you maybe perform a little bit better.
Right. And then even at the pro level now, ACL aside, like, do you find that with most guys, like do you find that it's funny the older guys kind of like take that strength conditioning aspect more seriously,
some guys,
or more consistently, I guess?
Yeah, some guys that are like timeless, that have been playing forever, their warm ups, their cool downs, their nutrition, like the guy that's coming to mind is I played with like a 40-year-old Finn, and he's still playing. And
like think about that statement, a 40-year-old
Finnish guy, and he was like unbelievable, and he's in the sauna, he's in the pool, so maybe like that's not strength and conditioning, but it's taking care of your body and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was always in good shape, so I'd imagine he put the work in the summer. So like for you to keep playing, you need to put the work in.
And we see with the River Lions too, with the pro basketball stuff, like they all work hard, they all take the gym seriously, but there's times where almost the older guys take. I mean, we had a pretty old team this year on average.
Yeah.
But just throughout the years, there's times where the older guys actually do that much extra.
It's because they're still playing and they know like they have to, right?
Where people think like, well, the older I get, I need to rest more, so like I'm gonna stay out of the weight room, I'm gonna stay out of. Logically, but actually when the rubber meets the road, that actually doesn't really.
Yeah, and like that's where the science comes in. Like something like surgery, they used to tell you like put your feet up for a month.
Yeah.
Now like I had to walk out of my ACL surgery. And I had to bend my knee the first week, which was like, terrifying. So it's like you're finding out more and more that you got to push your body to keep it stronger.
Yeah, 10, 15 years ago, that statement would have made people have a heart attack.
Oh my God,
no way you were walking out there. No way you're.
And I'm making it sound like I'm a warrior, but I'm pretty sure they're making like old men and women walk out of their hip surgeries.
Yeah.
Because they just know it's better for them. So it's like these poor people have to go through major surgeries, and you got to walk your butt out there because it's good for you.
Dude, even concussions now. Like, I don't want to speak too much on it. I'm not an expert. I don't
don't
take my medical advice.
They used to do the dark room and all that stuff.
And now it's like, as early as you can, let's get the blood flowing, let's get on the stationary bike. You know, you're not maxing out your deadlift, but
no.
There's a protocol now where, like, just sitting around in the dark room with the shades on is actually not a good idea.
Yeah. And
so the
science
again, not medical advice, okay, but
yeah. And then, like, put a hockey spin on it, like, Wayne Gretzky scored, I think, 9 goals his last year in the NHL.
Right.
And someone said, like, when they cross-checked him, like, they thought they were cross-checking, like, their grandma. So, like, that was in 1999.
Yeah.
Crosby's going to be 38, 39, and, like, one of the best players in the game.
Right.
And he's probably in better shape than most young guys.
Right.
So it's like, if you want to be timeless or this or that, you got to put the time in.
Absolutely.
That's Sidney Crosby, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like,
why not look to the best?
Yeah, of course. And,
totally.
Like, you want to keep playing. Like, I could not be playing 7 years without the gym.
Right. So, obviously, the rehab process has tested you physically.
Mm-hmm.
Right, as it would anybody. But how would you say it's tested you mentally?
Mentally is huge because it's, I'd say my personality, it definitely came through during the recovery. I'm a little more cautious than most people. So I think the surgeons and physios are usually, they got to pull people back.
Yeah.
And like, because they're going to re-injure their graft. For me, it was like, I was very scared pretty much to do every exercise. And there's days like I couldn't imagine doing this. I couldn't imagine doing that. And then the big one, I for the longest time, like, I cannot imagine sprinting again.
Yeah.
And then you've seen the past couple of weeks been sprinting in a
way better.
in somewhat of a tight area, right?
Yeah,
and
sprinting, doing a little bit of cuts, decels.
We're laughing at the decels, but like
better than you were.
Exactly, exactly. So it's like now that I don't know what happened, but somewhere in the summer it's like, okay, everything I'm scared of, it's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Or sorry, I'm gonna be able to do it again.
Right.
But it's just all like according to your, not the timeline, but what your body wants.
Yeah, the milestones that you're kind of reaching. And
so definitely a mental grind with the fear of re-injuring it or how might I do this again. But now it's like I can't imagine not sprinting now.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like, so I can't remember a time when I couldn't do this.
Yeah, exactly. So it's weird. And then we're finding out like maybe I wasn't a great jumper before and stuff.
Yeah, that's some of that.
So we're working on mechanics. So I might come out of this like more in tune with my body. I'm 100%.
Happens a lot.
Yeah, 100% coming out in more tune with my body.
Yeah, that's a hell of a point too, actually.
Yeah.
So originally when I wrote down some of these questions, I wanted to ask what's the hardest part about being away from the game during the recovery, but I'd rather highlight, I guess, the fact that once you got injured, you decided I'm going to stick around. I'm actually going to coach. I'm going to see that I'm going to find a way to contribute to the team.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the same role I originally imagined. Like, let's talk about that kind of coaching pivot. Yeah. And how you approach that.
Yeah. So the team I was in last year had one coach, older guy, and he's amazing. He coached in the NHL and stuff, but even as a player, I was starting to challenge him a bit, saying like, we need this, we need that. Like, we were playing man on man on Olympic ice. It's not sustainable. We were getting crushed. So I was challenging him a bit as a player, respectfully.
Pre-injury.
Yeah. And so I was in the coach's office a lot, like trying to like kind of get things going. So once I was hurt, he took it as an opportunity, like, do you want to help me? And do you want to cut film and this and that? So absolutely I do. I don't want to sit and like...
Most guys would just sit around and wallow and feel bad for themselves.
Oh, exactly. It's just not good. So when I had the opportunity to come to the rink for a purpose instead of being a distraction, I jumped on it.
Right.
So I got to do film and stuff. And then come Christmas, which is probably 2-3 months later, they unfortunately let him go. And the owner asked if I wanted to be the head coach. And I was like, oh my God. Like, yes, I will.
I don't really feel like I have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just like, it's a long story, but it was just trying to get the guys through the year.
Right.
But through that, learning a ton about coaching, learning a ton about leadership, and can't please everyone. And I was doing it for the guys. And then you end up bumping heads with guys because they don't want to do certain things. They just want to bare minimum, this and that. And like, you learn a lot about it as a coach, but I'm taking a ton from it as a player.
Yeah.
And like stuff you see as a coach that you want in a player.
Right.
And now I have the opportunity to do that.
And to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think it's going to impact your game when you return?
I hope big time. Like, I have all the, like, my coach in college used to say, like, show me, don't tell me.
Yep.
So I've had 11 months of saying like how much it's going to change. So hopefully in the next month I'll get to show what I've learned.
Yeah.
But just like the little things in games of
see the game
finishing checks and getting pucks out, live to fight
Yeah.
another day where maybe in the past I was extra move or skating by a guy at
Right.
checking. Just things you love to see on the bench. So now I'm gonna try to add those to my game, and
Right.
I'm sure it'll pay off because you play the game honestly, you get chances.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's funny because most guys coming back, like, I'm not saying you've ever once taken hockey for granted,
Mhm.
but most guys who get injured and then come back are like, I'll never take the game for granted again.
100%.
But not only will you not take it for granted, but you'll actually see it differently, and actually you'll probably play a little better or a little different, right? Like, I think that's kind of the coolest part.
Yeah, like I loved coaching. I loved being a part of the guys and the bus trips and this and that. But by the end of it, I was like, I don't want to watch another hockey game ever again.
Yeah.
Like I want to be in the games.
Yes.
I want to be in the jersey. I want to be doing all that stuff. So
Right.
it's definitely watching the league start up again where I want to play is making me hungry and getting those feelings back of like
Knowing we're so close.
Got to be out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So thankfully you were able to avoid this injury bug until
Yeah.
pretty late in your career, later
Yeah.
than most.
Yeah, 100%.
So what advice would you give to like younger athletes facing their first major injury? Because a lot of kids, it might happen grade 10, grade 11, grade whatever, right?
Yeah, and that, like I think you mentioned it earlier. Like sometimes, like the highs are highs and the lows are lows, but take some lessons from it and get stronger and get better from it. So, I think a lot of injuries. This is where I'm kind of just putting assumptions out there. But when younger kids get hurt, they're probably weak and stuff. So, I'm in a boat where I'm trying to catch up my right leg to a left leg that's been healthy for 30 years in training.
Yeah. And a lot of the numbers, the discrepancies are.
Yeah, so like with these injuries, like use it, learn about your body, and come back stronger. But don't fear the injuries because just do it the right way, and you're
Right.
yeah, and definitely take your time because I know kids like I couldn't imagine if I got hurt at 17, I would have wanted to play like 8 and 9 months.
A week later.
Like
Right.
if it's a season, take the season.
Yeah.
Get back healthy because like a second injury at 17 or 18,
Yeah.
that's where it's like it really falls apart.
Right.
And a lot of guys have reached out to me with their experiences from their brothers that went back to where they came back too early. So just take your time, do it right, but come back stronger.
Right.
Mhm.
And so obviously every sport's demanding, but like hockey's so demanding, especially at the pro level.
Yeah.
Physicality of it, just the sheer number of games you play.
A lot of hockey.
Yeah. So like, how do you feel like you can stay grounded outside of the rink, or off the ice in general?
Yeah, just normal stuff. And like you said, like the going to the gym is fun and definitely like the big saying is rest is a weapon. But I love going to the grocery store and kind of cooking and like kind of taking like some enjoyment out of different things that maybe I skipped out on my
Yeah.
younger years. Is that kind of what you mean by grounded? Kind of just get
Yeah, totally. Like you got to stay sane.
Yeah,
You love hockey. Everybody loves their
Yeah.
sport, but you got to get away from it sometime.
Yeah,
and
get
it's so hard when you're in it.
Exactly. Yeah, get away from the game and you find different hobbies. And pro hockey, a lot of guys quit because of the time between games and they don't know what to do with themselves for 12
Right.
hours. So there's just kind of taking different interests that gets you away from the game, but also makes you miss it.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that said, so either at Niagara or now playing pro, like there's fans, there's tons of pressure. Like, how do you handle the pressure of being an athlete at that level? There's expectations. There's, you know what I mean?
Just enjoy it. I think you just got to enjoy the opportunity that you're there. Fans are very passionate about their clubs, especially in Europe. They're crazy. You got flags and horns and drums, and it's so fun. So just take their passion as support, not pressure. And then, like I said, with like I have a teaching degree and stuff. So like when you start thinking like this is my job, there's a lot of pressure. That is scary.
Yeah.
Because like the fear of not performing, like leads you away from the game. Because if you can't get a job, you can't be a pro hockey player.
Right.
But just enjoy the process like you are a pro hockey player. Enjoy that you're here.
Yeah.
Enjoy the opportunity. And if you do get weeded out of the game, you gave it your best.
Right.
But if you didn't
leave with no regrets, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like I'm learning here, like with this injury, I might not return the best player or the player I was, but just give it your all and see how it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what do you think would be your proudest hockey moment so far? I'm sure there's probably countless, but like if you had to try to narrow it down to one.
The Worlds was definitely a crazy experience playing against Canada. I had a lot of family members come over to Czech and watch. So I think like playing against Canada, Czech, Finland, Switzerland, like every game we played in sold out. So that was like 19,000 fans,
right,
just going nuts. So like playing on that stage was really cool, and like I want to get back there so bad. Unfortunately, I haven't won any trophies at the professional level, so that's where exactly. Yet. But honorable mention, I'd say, is what me and a few classes did at Niagara U. Like we committed there, and they were like 59 out of 60 in the country. Terrible. And then the last game we played in our senior year, we lost in overtime. So I'd say we left the program better than we found it.
Right.
So if you can continue to do that, leave a place better than you found it, then I think that's something to kind of tip your hat at too.
Yeah, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you could go back and give your 16-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Put down the cookies, I'd say.
That's a hard habit to break, eh?
Yeah, like I was gonna say, I enjoyed hockey so much, and I'd say just fall in love with the process earlier. Like we talk about sacrifices and stuff, but I missed out on Friday nights and this and that, but like I didn't miss out on country concerts and bar nights and like McFlurries and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like really buy into it and just kind of see where it takes you. And if it was that next level, then great. But having said that, like I don't have any regrets, but I definitely could have bought into the hockey player at a younger age for sure. Yeah.
Because that would be my hope, I guess, for any athlete to ever get to train and work with. Like,
yeah.
I got no idea what your path is going to be, but just make sure you leave it with no regrets.
100%. And
I can't imagine living like that. I wish I would. I wish I could have.
Yeah, and there's no regrets because like I did, like I joke, I worked off all the stuff I put into my body.
Yeah, of course,
and stuff,
yeah.
So, but I'd say just that buy-in. But like I remember my Uncle Mark, you came. It was our graduation for high school. We had like a graduation party, and me and you came from a workout. So my whole family's waiting there to see me graduate. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And we came from a workout. And I remember my Uncle Mark was he's just like, it finally clicked in. He's like, you figured it out.
Yeah.
That like this.
A guy who played in the NHL.
A guy that played in the NHL. A guy that's been harping on us, me and my friends for years, that you need to work at a certain rate to get to. So it was kind of cool to see like him be like, you figured it out.
Yeah.
And then
late to grad. I was late to prom. Ask Kayla.
Yeah, for workouts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for workouts. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just like. And that's what's gonna happen.
We got prom. We're gonna be at so and so's house at this time. I'm like, yeah, but I got trained though. I got squat today.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? Married all these years later, so you know what?
Yeah, it worked out.
Obviously, I got a good one.
Yeah, great one.
The best. So, as you come back from your ACL injury now, like, what are your main goals?
Just to find that standard that I was playing at before the injury. I was playing some good hockey in Scotland. As I mentioned, our team played some messy hockey, the man-on-man, different things. So that wasn't a great preview for me, but personally I was doing well. And then the summer before I was at that World Championships playing against NHLers and the best in the world. So I want to get back to that tournament, but I want to get back to my that UK league or wherever I'm going to go play and find that level I was playing at before, because it's fun.
Right.
When you're playing your best, it's like you can't wait to get out on the ice.
And you put in all this work and you actually see it materialize on the ice, right?
Yeah. Like, you know what? If something happened, I didn't find a team, all this work got me back to a healthy person. I can golf, I can sprint, I can run. So I'm happy with what it's done, but I need to get back out and I need to play a game at a high level. I don't want to just be out there. I gotta get out there and really dig in.
Well, dude, even me and Mario talk about it. Well, we used to talk about it when we were playing. Like, obviously, I love the weight room. I practically live in a weight room now. Mm-hmm. I got to a point where I probably honestly love the weight room more than I love football. Yeah. Because it was just a little kinder to me.
Yeah, and it's a huge part of the football. Like, we talk about 8 games you guys play or 16 games. Like,
it's only 8 guaranteed games.
You gotta love the gym.
So you gotta love the gym. But even me, every July there become a point where I would look at Mario and be like, I'm sick of this barbell. Let's fucking hit somebody. So you know what I mean? I'd be like we gotta let me see the fruits of my labor.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yes, all this stuff has brought you back to a healthy human and a functioning adult. But let's.
Well, it's funny.
Let's go put it on tape,
It's funny you say that. Like I can't wait to go get hit. Isn't
it so
take
funny?
A shot. Like
I know exactly what you mean. It's so crazy.
And like everyone, like when you're playing pickup hockey with like my dad or my buddies, they miss the games, the competing. Yeah. So that's where you see guys, they're fighting in pickup hockey or at tournaments and stuff because they get that. Yeah. Some guys just have that.
And you might think, what the hell are you doing? But
you're just like, it's something.
If you get it, you get it.
Yeah, and they're like, there's nothing like competing with a group of guys that you love and everything. So I gotta get back to that standard for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Just to finish up here, a couple quick, funner, like kind of rapid fire ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your favorite pregame ritual or superstition?
I'd say definitely a nap.
Yeah.
Need a nap.
Love a good nap.
Same meal usually.
Which is what?
It's got to be like pork or a steak, sweet potatoes, and like some peppers.
Yeah.
Or some guac. But it's just easy. You know what you're gonna make. than a nap.
Sits good, you feel good, yeah.
Yeah, and then if we're on a win streak, I wear the same suit and tie combo.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's your favorite. What's the craziest one you ever seen of somebody else that you can actually mention on?
There's some guys are really weird.
Yeah.
Some guys are really weird. I'm trying to think of like an
Something
example.
G-rated, but.
Well, even I wash my clothes, but like some guys are wearing the same socks or saying this or saying that. So like I will say that those come to mind, but every year new superstitions I kind of start with a clean.
Yeah, you don't think about them. They have to kind of.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Clean slate, and then as it progresses, like you kind of get into a rhythm, and you're like, oh, I did this, did that, then some weird things happen.
Right.
But I don't have a crazy example, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Guys put like left skate on first.
I love stuff like that. I never really had something like that. I talk about like my kind of different preferences pregame change. Like when I was younger, it was super like crazy like rap or like headbanging like metal music, and I'm like, man, when I get to college, like the game's much more sophisticated, so you actually have to think.
Yeah.
And B, the game's so much longer.
Yeah.
So like if I was gonna go out guns a-blazing like at the start of a game, like a game's like 3.5 hours in college, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like it's exhausting.
100%.
You're exhausted before you've even taken the first snap because you're just so jacked up. So I found like the older I got, it would be like more, I don't know, country music or something like.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm pretty vocal in the room when there's on the Peanut Club or Peanut Gallery. When there's a bad music I'm the first one to say this is crap.
Yeah.
And then people are like, what do you want? I'm like, oh, I don't got anything for you.
Oh, see, that's the worst type of guy.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible. Because I listen
in the gym all the time. Somebody says, oh, I hate this music. I'm like, kid, then pick something.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What do you want?
I throw on Morgan Wallen slow song, and it's like, this ain't it either.
Whiskey glasses or something.
Yeah, so I've learned to kind of stay quiet and just kind of go with the flow. Because if you don't have the nerve to be the DJ, then you gotta.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Great power, great responsibility, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you weren't playing hockey, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Teaching or policing, probably. Those are like careers I've always admired. So something along those lines.
Or flying.
Well, I do say that if I didn't play like minor hockey, would I have convinced my parents to put me in like Air Cadets and
makes you wonder, right?
Yeah. So you never know, but I would say some public service. I definitely want to make the world better when I'm older. So hockey, I'm not making the world better right now. I'm giving some entertainment, but I'll definitely give back in time.
Giving the fans some joy, hopefully after hopefully with more wins and losses.
Or some heart attacks when I give the puck away. But either way, it gets the blood going.
What's your favorite city you played in? Especially having been all over the world. Prague, yeah?
Yeah, like it sucks because it's just such a one-off, but like...
Yeah, that was a tournament?
That was a tournament, 19,000 people, 18,000 people, whatever it was, and then the rink was crazy, like vocal, loud, and then like one subway stop in, you're in the middle of Prague, and it was just a beautiful city.
Yeah, but, somewhere you'd like to go back to probably, if you get a chance,
absolutely.
Even just to be a tourist.
Yeah, but I'd say like even when we were younger... Or at Niagara, we like going to play at Penn State and stuff like that. Like those are cool experiences too.
Right. But Hockey Valley is what they call it.
Hockey Valley. Yeah. So like that's great, but like the Prague blew everything out of
seeing the world
out of the water. Yeah.
That's unreal. That's another cool. We're talking about before about a lot of sports you can actually play professionally worldwide.
Yeah.
And that's one cool, like probably often overlooked aspect is like you're so into the basketball, the hockey, the soccer, whatever sport you're playing.
Yeah.
But actually being able to see the world.
Oh yeah.
Is like and play tourists is like a bit of a.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to get back to that GB roster and get back on the team because they just announced that like they're going to play 4 games in Poland, 4 games in Italy, 4 in Scotland, throughout the year. I'm like, that's like you're just traveling the world and then you're playing hockey and then
like if you just ever played in the States or something, like you would never have maybe some of these experiences.
Yeah,
right?
Like when you're driving on the highway with your parents, like there's a rink there, there's a rink there. Like now we're gonna be in England or in Prague or this or place. Like played hockey here. Like, it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's unreal.
Yeah, it's fun.
Irreplaceable memories, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Last one. Who's one teammate you learned the most from in your career?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's why I don't give some of these beforehand because I want to see if you can.
Man.
You'd be laying in bed tonight, think of a different answer.
Well, I just mentioned in Johnny Curran, he's the old Finn guy, like just how he took care of his body and how he like kind of overcame like the English barrier, and he's just a lovable guy, but he just loves hockey.
Yeah.
And I made a deal with him that I can't retire until he does.
Right.
And he was 40 when I was playing with him years ago, so he's still playing in the second league in England. So he just loves the game and just bought into it, and like he graduated with some kind of degree that he's been chipping away at online. Right. So he's really excited about that, but just learned his professionalism, taking care of his body, and then just passion for the game. But honestly, the first thing that came to mind was all my junior B teammates. This is kind of a shot, but I learned a ton of what not to do.
No, you know what? That's equally as valuable, though.
Unfortunately, that's where my brain went. And I learned
which is not a bad thing.
No, I learned a ton in juniors of what not to do.
Right.
And it kind of like cleans up your act for the next level. And then in college, you learn what not to do. And then you start picking up from guys what to do.
Right.
But, yeah. That's the guy that comes to mind right away.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you coming on. I know your time's obviously valuable, so appreciate you carving out an hour or so to come on here and spread some wisdom to the youth and a little bit of reflection. But
very busy man, with the one leg. But
and the cookies.
I appreciate you having me. I love telling the stories, and hopefully the younger guys that we work out with listen to Mike's, listen to mine, and there's lessons to be learned of stuff probably are shortcomings that maybe they can take advantage of.
Things to replicate, things to avoid.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll have to have you back on next offseason for reflect on your post ACL
and our
successes.
A few trophies and a double IHF gold we can talk about. Yeah.
Hell yeah. You have to come in and put it right here on the table.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Guys, this is a Performance Matters podcast. As always, we're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, and we will see you next week. Peace.